Hello YouTube, it's William. Welcome to another Whittle Talk. Okay, I've mentioned it several times in my videos, but I want to do a demonstration on this. Had a question on Facebook. Somebody made a question on one of the group, the forums. So which grind is the easiest to sharpen in the field with getting just a rock out of the river or whatever? And hands down everyone said Scandi. Okay, so let's look at this. I got 3 different grinds, and I've got a Scandi, I've got a convex, and I've got a full flat. But full flat and a saber is pretty much the same thing. You have just a very small area that you're trying to sharpen. When you're sharpening a Scandi knife, and this is a Scandi, this is the portion you have to sharpen. Okay, this little shiny portion right here. So in order to touch each one of this entire thing, let me move the camera down so you can see what I'm talking about. So in order for you to sharpen this portion, the blade has to sit on your stone flat, perfectly flat, in order for this bevel to remain a perfect Scandi. If this surface is not flat, then you're going to have a variation of a Scandi, either a Scandivex or eventually it will turn into a convex or something. It'll be a variation of a Scandi. It won't be a true Scandi anymore. So you have to have a perfect stone to make sure that you are sharpening the Scandi. Does that make sense? So the stone that you pick up out of the river has to be perfectly flat, and has to be flat in a distance long enough to touch a full stroke of the blade. Okay? Now people say that a Scandi is easier to sharpen because it has a place, it catches the blade, and so it's kind of dummy proof, if you will. Okay, but again, you have to have a perfectly flat surface, and that is why I use diamond stones most of the time, because that is a perfectly flat surface. Okay, now if you use water stones and softer stones, that over time they will wear to your rhythm, and most of the time you will not get a perfect Scandi grind anymore, or Scandi anymore. It will be a variation of that. Okay, but with a saber or a full flat, the only portion that you're sharpening is that micro bevel right there. You can see that shiny part right there. That's what you're sharpening. And you can take a round rock and sharpen that. You don't have to search for something that's perfectly flat. You can take any rock, as long as it has a smooth surface, and sharpen a saber or a full flat with a secondary bevel. Okay? So that's the story with a full flat or a saber. Now convex, how you sharpen a convex is you have to have a soft surface. A lot of times people will take sandpaper into the field with them, or a strop, and wrap the sandpaper over something soft like a mouse pad or something like that. That way it will give while you're stropping. So that's how you sharpen a convex. You strop it with something soft under the sandpaper, so that this edge will remain as a convex. Okay, so the most difficult one, in my opinion, to reproduce in the field is a convex. The second most difficult would be a Scandi. The easiest, in my opinion, is a saber or a full flat, because you're only worried about a very minute portion of the blade that has to touch whatever you're sharpening with. Hope all this makes sense. Okay, so I wanted to throw that out there for you guys to think about. And can this Scandi be sharpened in the field? Sure, it can be, but you have to find a rock that is flat. I mean, it has to be perfectly flat or pretty close to perfectly flat, or you're going to change this Scandi into something different. Okay, hope all this makes sense, gives you something to think about. And until the next one, you guys get out in the backyard, go whittle on a stick. To all the families who's lost veterans on this day, I thank you for your sacrifice. Me being a veteran myself, I have not, well, I have lost some people in the military, but we wasn't in combat, but it was, had an aircraft blow up. But anyway, to all you families, I thank you for your sacrifice, and everyone be safe on this Memorial Day. And get in the backyard, whittle on a stick around the fire if that's what you're doing. And if you do, take plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon. Bye.